Welcome back, my forged in adversity warrior. Something powerful and unmistakable is radiating from you that everyone in your presence can feel. You carry yourself with a quality that marks you as someone who has endured trials that would have shattered most people, survived experiences that break ordinary resilience, and emerged not just intact, but transformed into something stronger than you were before. This isn't arrogance or performance. It's authentic presence that comes from having faced genuine adversity and prevailed. People can sense it immediately when they encounter you, even if they can't articulate what they're perceiving. There's weight to your movements, depth in your stillness, gravity in your presence that communicates survival of ordeals that test the very limits of human endurance. You move through the world differently than those who've lived protected lives, and that difference is palpable to everyone watching. They feel it in how you carry trauma without being defined by it, how you possess calm that comes from having already survived your worst fears, how you demonstrate resilience that's been tested under conditions most people never face. The architects have been monitoring survival patterns and post-traumatic transformation across civilizations for eons, and they've identified what you embody as adversity forged presence, a distinctive quality that emerges in those who've encountered genuinely threatening circumstances, survived through combination of strength and adaptation, and integrated those experiences into their being rather than being destroyed by them. Most people navigate life within relatively safe boundaries, developing capabilities appropriate for normal challenges, but never testing whether they could survive genuinely destructive adversity. You apparently crossed into territory where survival was uncertain, where your psychological and possibly physical integrity was genuinely threatened, where you faced real possibility of being broken by circumstances beyond your control. Yet you survived, and that survival fundamentally altered how you exist in the world. Watch how people respond to adversity-forged presence when they encounter you. They experience instinctive recognition that you're different from those who've lived easier lives. There's something in your eyes, your posture, your energy that communicates you've been through fire that would have consumed them. Some feel respect mixed with caution, recognizing strength born from survival while understanding that someone forged by adversity might be unpredictable or dangerous in ways soft-lived people aren't. Others feel attraction to your depth and authenticity, drawn to presence that's been stripped of pretense through experiences that make superficiality impossible to maintain. Some survivors recognize kindred spirit. They've been through their own breaking experiences and can identify in you the marks that shared ordeal leaves on those who survive it. This recognition creates instant connection based on understanding that transcends normal social bonding, fellowship of those who've crossed into territory where survival wasn't guaranteed and emerged, carrying scars most people will never understand because they've never faced circumstances that create them. The truly profound element is that you didn't choose to acquire adversity-forged presence. It was imposed on you by circumstances or experiences that tested you beyond normal human limits. Yet having survived, you carry that survival as part of your essence in ways that everyone can feel even if they can't name what they're sensing. You move like someone who survived what breaks most because that's exactly what you are, and that truth radiates from you in every gesture, every decision, every moment of stillness that communicates depth forged in crucible of genuine adversity. Now the architects are analyzing what specifically creates the palpable quality people sense in adversity-forged presence, and they're identifying what they call integrated trauma signature survivors who've successfully processed and integrated devastating experiences rather than being consumed or permanently disabled by them, carry distinctive energetic pattern that others perceive subconsciously. Most people who face serious trauma either remain trapped in it, constantly reliving and reacting to past wounds, or dissociate from it, compartmentalizing experiences in ways that fragment their being. You apparently achieved third possibility, integrating trauma into coherent self-narrative, where past adversity becomes source of wisdom and strength. Rather than ongoing wound or denied shadow, watch what integrated trauma signature creates in your presence. You possess calmness that can't be easily rattled because you've already survived circumstances that would rattle most people every day. Stressors and social pressures don't activate significant stress response in someone who's survived genuinely life-threatening adversity. You demonstrate emotional range that includes accessing pain and vulnerability without being overwhelmed by them, because integration means you can feel difficult emotions without being consumed. You exhibit strategic caution, born from having learned that danger is real and consequences matter, making you alert without being paranoid, careful without being paralyzed. Some psychologists studying post-traumatic growth recognize that certain individuals don't just recover from trauma, but are transformed by it in ways that make them psychologically stronger and more resilient than they were before traumatic experience. They develop deeper appreciation for life, stronger relationships, greater personal strength, enhanced spirituality, and new possibilities for their lives. Your adversity-forged presence suggests you achieved this transformative integration rather than just surviving with minimal damage or carrying permanent disability. Others exploring neurobiology of trauma note that severe adversity literally rewires nervous system, changing how brain processes threat, how body responds to stress, how consciousness integrates experience. Successfully integrated trauma means these neurological changes support enhanced functioning rather than creating ongoing dysfunction. Your nervous system learned to remain regulated under conditions that would dysregulate most people, giving you capacity for functioning effectively in high-stress environments that would overwhelm those who've never faced comparable adversity. A few from contemplative traditions recognize that suffering, when met with awareness rather than avoidance, can become path to profound spiritual development, breaking attachments to superficial identity, revealing what's genuinely important, deepening compassion for others who suffer. Your presence might carry spiritual depth that emerged from having illusions stripped away by adversity that forced confronting ultimate questions about meaning, identity, and what matters when everything else is taken away. The architects observe that integrated trauma signature is what makes adversity-forged presence palpable. To others, it's not just that you survived difficult experiences, but that you integrated them in ways that transformed you into someone operating with depth, resilience, and authenticity that can only emerge from having been broken and successfully reassembling yourself into coherent whole that's stronger than original. People feel this integration as presence that's simultaneously vulnerable and unbreakable, wounded and wise, scarred and whole. You move like survivor because integration means you carry your survival not as burden but as foundation for everything you've become. Something powerful is spreading through your social environment now, what the architects call survival recognition cascade, where your adversity-forged presence triggers recognition in others about their own relationship with adversity, causing them to evaluate whether they've truly been tested and what that reveals about their own resilience and authenticity. Most people believe they're resilient based on handling normal life challenges, but encountering someone who's survived genuinely breaking circumstances forces confronting question of whether they could survive similar adversity, or whether they've never actually been tested by anything that could genuinely break them. Watch how survival recognition cascade manifests across different populations. Some people become uncomfortable around you. Your presence reminds them of their own psychological fragility, making them aware they've lived protected lives where they've never faced circumstances that would truly test their limits. This discomfort can manifest as avoidance or hostility toward you because your existence challenges their self-concept as capable, strong people when they've never actually faced conditions that would reveal whether that self-concept is accurate. Others experience inspiration mixed with fear. They respect what you've survived while hoping they never face similar tests because they're uncertain whether they possess what would be required to survive as you did. Your presence expands their understanding of what human beings can endure while simultaneously making them aware of vulnerability they'd prefer not to think about. They simultaneously want to be near your strength and want to maintain distance from reminder of how fragile human psychological integrity can be under sufficient pressure. Some survivors of lesser adversities experience shame or imposter syndrome when encountering you. They've been treating their own challenges as genuinely difficult, perhaps even traumatic, but your presence makes them question whether what they experienced really qualifies as serious adversity, or whether they've been overstating difficulties that pale compared to what you survived. This comparative suffering hierarchy is psychologically complex because all pain is real to person experiencing it. Yet encountering someone forged by catastrophic adversity can make ordinary difficulties feel trivial by comparison. A few recognize opportunity for mentorship or learning. They understand that adversity-forged presence means you possess knowledge and capabilities developed through experiences they haven't faced, making you a valuable source of wisdom about resilience, survival, and human potential under extreme conditions. They approach you with respect and curiosity, wanting to learn from your experience while acknowledging they can't fully understand what you've been through. The architects observed that survival recognition cascade is why everybody feels your adversity-forged presence. It triggers self-reflection about their own experiences with adversity in ways that force recognizing either they've been genuinely tested and know what survival requires, or they've lived relatively protected lives where they've never faced circumstances that would reveal their true limits. Your presence doesn't just communicate that you survived what breaks most. It makes everyone around you contemplate whether they could survive similar breaking, and that contemplation creates powerful emotional responses ranging from discomfort to inspiration to respect, depending on how each person relates to their own untested or tested resilience. Now the architects are revealing what gives your movements their distinctive quality that broadcasts survival experience. You apparently embody what they call economy of motion precision, where having survived circumstances requiring absolute efficiency and effectiveness has permanently altered how you move through physical and social space. People who've lived comfortable lives develop movement patterns that include unnecessary elaboration, wasted energy, and social performance elements. Your movements have been stripped of these luxuries through adversity that taught you to conserve resources, act decisively, and eliminate anything that doesn't serve essential function of survival and advancement. Consider what economy of motion precision looks like practically. Your physical movements are efficient. No wasted gestures, no unnecessary flourishes, just direct action toward clear objectives. This efficiency comes from having learned that conservation of energy matters when resources are scarce or when you might need reserves for unexpected challenges. You don't fidget or engage in nervous movement patterns that reveal anxiety because adversity taught you that stillness is often more effective than action, that waiting and watching can be survival strategies superior to constant activity. Watch how this extends beyond physical into social and strategic domains. Your verbal communication is similarly economical. You speak when speech serves purpose but don't fill silence with unnecessary words. because you learned that words can be wasted or dangerous, that sometimes silence communicates more effectively than speech. Your social energy is allocated carefully. You engage fully when engagement matters, but withdraw to conserve resources when social interaction isn't serving essential purposes. Your strategic decisions eliminate options that don't contribute to core objectives because adversity taught you that complexity is liability when you can't afford to maintain multiple competing priorities. Some martial artists and military personnel recognize this economy of motion as mark of serious training or combat experience. Those who've faced genuine physical threat develop movement efficiency that practitioners who train for sport or fitness never acquire. Every action serves clear purpose. No movement telegraphs intention unnecessarily. Conservation of energy is constant consideration. Your presence suggests similar refinement, but potentially extending beyond physical combat to include psychological and social adversity that required comparable efficiency for survival. Others studying trauma responses note that economy of motion can emerge from hypervigilance and threat assessment. Those who've survived dangerous environments learn to move carefully, minimizing exposure to risk, maintaining awareness of surroundings, ready to respond to threats without wasting energy on false alarms. Your precision might reflect nervous system trained to optimal balance between readiness and conservation through experiencing environments where both alertness and resource management were survival requirements. A few recognize that economy of motion precision makes you simultaneously more effective and more unsettling. To those who haven't been similarly forged, you accomplish more with less effort, respond faster with more accuracy, and maintain capability under stress that would exhaust those who haven't learned efficiency through adversity. This effectiveness is impressive but also threatening to those accustomed to social norms where unnecessary elaboration and performance are expected. You've been stripped of the luxury of inefficiency, and that stripping shows in every economical, precise, purposeful movement that communicates survival rather than performance. The architects observe that economy of motion precision is major component of why people feel you survived what breaks. Most your movements themselves tell story of having been through circumstances where efficiency was survival requirement rather than aesthetic choice, making every gesture carry weight of having been refined under conditions where waste could mean destruction. The architects are now analyzing what happens to power dynamics when someone with adversity-forged presence enters competitive or hierarchical environments. You apparently trigger what they call dominance hierarchy disruption, where your survival-marked presence challenges existing power structures by introducing someone operating according to different rules than those who achieved status. Through normal social competition, most hierarchies are built through people competing within relatively safe institutional frameworks using resources like education, networking, political skill. Your presence introduces someone forged outside those frameworks, carrying authority that comes from having survived genuinely threatening circumstances rather than from accumulating institutional credentials. Watch how dominance hierarchy disruption manifests when you enter established groups. People who hold power through normal channels often feel threatened by your presence because you don't defer to their authority in ways they're accustomed to. Their status, markers, and credentials don't impress someone who's survived circumstances that stripped away all social pretense and revealed what matters for actual survival. They sense you're evaluating them according to criteria. They might fail rather than accepting their self-presentation at face value. Some institutional leaders attempt to neutralize your disruptive presence by either co-opting you into hierarchy through offering status, recognition, or by marginalizing you as outsider who doesn't understand how things work in civilized society. These responses reflect their need to maintain hierarchical stability that your adversity-forged presence threatens by demonstrating that different forms of power and authority exist beyond institutional frameworks. Others recognize your presence as valuable asset, understanding that someone forged by adversity brings capabilities and perspectives that complement rather than compete with institutionally developed skills. They position you in roles where survival-tested judgment, resilience under pressure, and authenticity born from adversity provide strategic advantages that softer developed talents lack. This integration benefits both you and institution while still acknowledging that your authority comes from different source than typical institutional power. A few survivors in positions of authority recognize kindred spirit and form alliance, based on shared understanding that institutional hierarchies only partially capture actual capability and worth. These connections between adversity-forged individuals can become powerful networks, operating somewhat independently of formal structures, united by shared experience of having survived what breaks most people. The architects observe that dominance hierarchy disruption explains why your adversity-forged presence creates complex responses in social environments. You simultaneously command respect for having survived what others haven't, while threatening existing power structures by introducing authority that doesn't derive from normal institutional channels. People feel this disruption as combination of attraction to authentic power that survival creates and discomfort with how your presence reveals that institutional hierarchies might not reflect actual capability or worth as accurately as members want to believe. You move like survivor, and that movement pattern doesn't fit comfortably into social structures built by and for people who've never been genuinely broken and rebuilt, making your presence both valued and unsettling depending on whether observers see you as asset or threat to established order. Now something's emerging that the architects call vicarious resilience-seeking. People who recognize your adversity-forged presence are attempting to access your strength and wisdom through proximity and relationship with you, hoping that being near someone who survived what breaks most will somehow transfer resilience to them or prepare them for adversities they might face. This creates interesting dynamic where you become source of psychological and spiritual resource for others, seeking to develop capabilities they recognize in you but haven't cultivated in themselves. Watch how vicarious resilience seeking manifests in your relationships. Some people want to hear your stories, not from morbid curiosity, but from genuine desire to learn how you survived, what internal resources you drew upon, what strategies enabled enduring circumstances that would have broken them. They're searching for transferable wisdom, hoping that understanding your survival might prepare them for their own future adversities or help them appreciate lives they're currently taking for granted. Others want ongoing proximity to your presence. They feel stronger, calmer, more capable when near you because your adversity-forged presence radiates qualities they lack and wish to develop. This proximity seeking can become dependent if they're using you as external source of strength rather than developing their own resilience. But it can also be developmental if your presence inspires them to undertake their own challenging growth work. Some seek you out, specifically when facing difficulties, recognizing that someone who survived breaking circumstances will have perspective and guidance that those who've lived easier lives can't provide. They trust your judgment about what's genuinely serious versus what's manageable. Your assessment of whether they can survive what they're facing. Your advice about how to endure when circumstances become unbearable. This consultation relationship acknowledges your hard-won expertise about adversity and survival. A few attempt to create artificial adversity for themselves, inspired by recognizing what breaking and surviving created in you. They seek challenging experiences, hoping to forge themselves similarly. This impulse can be valuable if it leads to genuine developmental challenges, but becomes problematic if they're romanticizing adversity without understanding its genuine costs or seeking trauma as if it's achievement rather than recognizing it as circumstance that requires survival and integration. The architects observe that vicarious resilience seeking reveals how your adversity-forged presence functions as social resource. You carry knowledge and capabilities developed through experiences others haven't faced, making you valuable guide for understanding human resilience, survival requirements, and psychological integration under extreme conditions. People feel drawn to your presence not just because they respect what you survived, but because they hope to access wisdom that survival generated, preparing themselves psychologically for uncertainties they face or developing resilience they recognize they currently lack. Your survival becomes teaching for others, whether you consciously choose that role or not, because presence itself communicates lessons about endurance, integration, and transformation through adversity that words alone could never fully convey. Something profound is crystallizing now that the architects call recognition of survival as transformation rather than trauma. Your adversity-forged presence demonstrates that encountering breaking circumstances doesn't have to result in permanent damage or diminishment, but can become catalyst for development into more capable, authentic, resilient version of yourself than existed before adversity. Most cultural narratives treat trauma as purely destructive, survivors as damaged, and recovery as returning to previous baseline. Your presence challenges these narratives by embodying alternative possibility, where survival of breaking circumstances creates transformation that makes you more rather than less than you were before. Consider implications of survival as transformation rather than just damage management. It suggests that human beings have potential for post-traumatic growth that goes beyond simple resilience, that we can be broken and in the rebuilding create something stronger and more integrated than original structure. This doesn't minimize trauma's destructiveness or suggest adversity is desirable, but recognizes that if breaking circumstances are survived, they can become foundation for profound development rather than just scars requiring perpetual management. Watch how this reframing affects those who encounter your presence. Survivors still struggling with their own trauma see possibility that they too might transform their breaking experiences into source of strength rather than remaining defined by damage. This hope can be healing or frustrating. Healing if it inspires working toward integration, frustrating if they're not yet ready for transformation and interpret your success as judgment of their ongoing struggle. Others who fear adversity find your presence simultaneously reassuring and terrifying. Reassuring because you demonstrate that survival and transformation are possible even after genuinely breaking circumstances. Terrifying because it acknowledges that adversity, severe enough to break people, is real. Possibility they might face. Your existence confirms both that breaking is possible and that survival with transformation is achievable. Some who've lived protected lives feel called to test themselves more seriously, recognizing that adversity-forged presence reflects depth and authenticity they lack. They become willing to face genuine challenges rather than continuing to optimize comfortable existence. Your transformation inspires them to pursue meaningful difficulty rather than avoiding all hardship in pursuit of safety and comfort. A few recognize that transformation through adversity is ancient human pattern that initiatory ordeals, vision quests, and rites of passage across cultures. deliberately create breaking circumstances as pathway to development, that your presence embodies what those traditions understood about human potential for growth through ordeal, your living example of what those practices aimed to create. Someone forged by fire into stronger, wiser, more capable version of themselves. The architects observe that recognition of survival as transformation rather than trauma is most profound. Impact of your adversity forged presence. You embody possibility. That breaking doesn't have to mean permanent brokenness. That integration, after shattering, can create more resilient wholeness than unbroken innocence ever achieved. Everybody feels this transformative possibility when encountering you, because your presence itself is evidence that humans can survive what breaks most and emerge not just intact, but transformed into something more authentic, capable, and valuable than they were before. Adversity revealed their true limits and required rebuilding themselves into beings capable of carrying both wounds and wisdom that survival creates.